people are not just saying, it's the truth, man.
It is the truth.
Yeah, if Arsenal and PSV...
But better than being in the same group with Bayern.
If Arsenal and PSV are the best team in that group, then it tells you, like...
Do you know...
That is Europa League pedigree, you know?
Do you know who is PSV? If you take United to that group, it will be group of death for them.
No.
Not the entire group. The wait is over. The biggest tournament in the world gonna kick off on Tuesday. The Champions League, and this time round, no Chelsea, no Liverpool. Right? And finally the Gunners return of the Champions League since, was it Arsene Wenger's time? Well, they call me Vincent.
And of course my name is Brian, and remember, this video is brought to you courtesy of Bet Power. And
Partnership with Liquid Sports Show.
Yes.
Well, it has been amazing. And now seeing Champions League returning, we saw Arsenal fans coming up with some memes. I was watching that video of Tom and Jay relaxing, trying to listen to radio. So Tom turns on the radio and relaxes them. The Champions League anthem rings. Now it shows the Gunners are back home, of course, against Dutch.
Welcome back to the Champions League.
The question is Arsenal, Manchester United, Manchester City, Newcastle United, all in the Champions League.
Yep.
What do you think will leave early?
That's a tough place to start with, you know.
Because you don't want to pick
But
Manchester.
I think the team that has stayed longest without appearing in the Champions League will most likely be the first one to exit, because they are in the group of death. You know who I'm talking about. They put on white stripes and black stripes. Their names are
The Magpies. Yes.
The Magpies.
Strange. And of course, our feature match today, it is Bayern Munich taking on Manchester United. Another meme I saw, somebody preparing. Bayern Munich waiting for Manchester United. A team with a lot of injuries, but first things first, we're going to talk about Man United taking on Bayern Munich. But before that, we need to take a look at their team news. We want to see who is playing, who is not playing. And of course, we saw United, their injury woes continued, with Aaron Wan-Bissaka set to be out for at least 2 months. Wow. No Aaron, no Luke Shaw on the left back, so that means your flanks, your fullbacks are fully exposed.
That means
the butcher is not butchering.
That means our defense is wide open.
But you have a legend at the back.
Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire is there. So yes, let's take a look at Man United team, and of course Harry Kane will be back in England, and this time around not featuring for Tottenham Hotspur, but playing for Bayern against United.
Yup.
Will he divide the United team?
The team is already divided.
It's already Manchester divided.
The team is now like in a mess at the moment. And remember, this is a match that is being played at Allianz Arena, and Allianz Arena has always been a difficult place to go to and come back with full points as Manchester United. You just mentioned we have like a list of injuries, which most likely will be the key decider in this tie. And I don't know how
you
is
see
the form of these teams in the local leagues looking like. If I pretend that I don't know about Manchester United,
why should you pretend and you know United have not been doing that? Of course, but Bayern Munich also struggled over the weekend.
Yep.
I think they featured on it was on
Friday
against Bayer Leverkusen.
And
again, which ended 2-2.
And remember, Leverkusen are also doing well in the league. So it was a tough match for them. But then again, I think Bayern this season are not like the Bayern that we know. Ever since Tuchel took over the team, there's been a lot of...
it's not that strong.
It's not the Bayern that we know, the Bayern that dominates they call it the Farmers League.
So you want to tell me it's just like a two stragglers meeting?
Not really, because on Bayern's side, as much as they have gone levels lower than the Bayern we know. I think they are in a good shape, better than Manchester United. So I think they are in good shape for this game. And I just don't know, is everybody for Bayern available?
No, Bayern Munich are missing a number of players. Of course, their first choice goalkeeper, Malano, is out, and Coman is also out. Rafael Guerrero is also out, and Buchmann. Those are the 4 key players who were not really key, only 2 key players for Bayern, and I think Sommer has been doing a good job at the in between the posts. But now for United, without even taking a look at the injury lists, we have Sancho, who is out for obvious reasons.
Anthony,
because United players have been beating their ex-girlfriends more than the way the team is beating opponents. Anthony is also out, and that means those are like United flanks are not like I really rank Anthony, despite people saying he doesn't perform, as a player who can bring difference. Even if he doesn't score, then Anthony will bring he'll bring trouble to the opponent.
Yep.
Now for Sancho, of course, he's been away, and has he featured this season?
Yep, he played 2 games as a substitute.
Nottingham Forest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and Tottenham as well.
and Tottenham.
Yeah, as a substitute.
A loss and a win for. Okay. Now on top of that, remember Aaron Wan-Bissaka, like I mentioned, is
Yep,
out
he's out.
for at least 2 months. So that means who steps in there? Then also we have Rafael Varane, who is out. Mason Mount still is yet to come back. We also have Maino, who is also out. So Amrabat could feature. It's a 50-50. Depends the fitness of and what the doctors tell the coach to do.
So maybe we check the head-to-head between these teams, and if I can remember very well, we have barely
Not
won.
barely. For the last 3 matches at Allianz Arena, United have lost.
We have not won. Use the right kind of words. We have not won.
The difference is the same.
Right. So I think that is the problem. Even if we were the Manchester United on form, it is the problem. It is the problem because we haven't won at Allianz Arena, even when we had one of the best teams in the league. Even back then, I remember there was a time when they knocked us out. They won 2-1. The only time we've won against them on a neutral ground is when.
I remember that game.
Relax.
Okay,
relax.
Sorry.
The only time we won against them on a neutral ground was in Barcelona in 1999
Friendly
when we
match.
were winning the treble, you know. So I think it's going to be a problem because Man United are in shambles. Their away form has been pretty poor even in the local league. So I wonder what will happen in the Champions League, and it's definitely going to be a loss if I'm looking at it as a neutral fan. But again, you know, you have to give yourself some energy and morale as a Man United fan.
Motivation.
And yeah, I want us to come away with a point from that game. So if I could predict, I would go for a 1-1 draw as a fan for Man United who wants a point. But on a neutral point of view, I think the game will end 2-1. How about you?
First things we need to know, we need to understand. Casemiro is back, right?
Casemiro is
back. Should be back. And now we need to understand where the game will be won and where the game will be lost. Like I said, United are of course without their preferred fullbacks.
Yep.
I mean, Luke Shaw out, Aaron Wan-Bissaka out. Now you imagine you're meeting Leroy Sané and Serge Gnabry on the flanks. When Harry Kane is expected to lead the line, and he'll come up against the Butcher, who was butchered.
Wow.
2 consecutive matches.
Yep.
And now in the midfield, it's Kimmich, Joshua Kimmich, and Goretzka coming up against either Casemiro and Eriksen.
I think Eriksen and Casemiro will have to start.
They will have to.
Yeah.
So that at least Bruno Fernandes, the crybaby, can play at the CAM. It is a game. United is a team which is always, when they face, I mean, a big team, they deploy one strategy, one side of play.
Sit back.
And goal.
Sit back.
Hit on the counter. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. They tried that against Arsenal, it never worked. They tried that against Brentford, which was shocking. You don't defend against Brighton, you need to dominate. You need to play. You need to attack. So I think for the flanks, already the former Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel knows already where to attack.
Yeah.
We need Bayern Munich have a main man, the center guy who is a Harry Kane, can finish on any leg. He's good with aerial balls. So it's either Serge Gnabry, cut him, bring across for Kane. You finish. Leroy Sané on the other end, or cut him, score. So United will lose this match.
That's
And
that's your prediction.
you will concede at least 3 goals. 3 goals. Like, I'm just being fair. I don't want to hurt you. 3-1.
It's not hurting me anymore, bro, because
You are used to.
having even just checked the previous match we played, I remember our fans online were praising the new left back that we signed on loan from Tottenham, Sergio Reguilon.
Yeah.
He played well. He had a good game, but funny enough, he's a defender. We conceded 3 goals, bro. So
The main
I don't get
question
it.
is-
I don't get. And the first goal actually came from his side. You know?
It happened.
He had a good game though. He had a good game, but I still feel even if we put in the best shift with that defensive line, we're not gonna make it.
Where's Evans? I'd like to see Evans play that.
He might play.
You need experience at the back. You really do need experience at the back. So you can imagine a player who's on loan becomes your man of the match.
Well, sometimes it does happen. It does happen. We've seen that happen a number of times. So, without wasting a lot of time, what is your correct score for this match?
I said 3-1.
Oh, you said
I don't
3-1.
know why I'm giving United that 3-1. Who will score?
Onana. Onana these days plays in the midfield. Right, so we wait and see. Of course, we have other games as well.
We'll have AC Milan taking on Newcastle United, a team which is making the first appearance since like in
20
2003.
That's around 20 years.
20 years ago, 20 years, 180 something days. They are back, a team which at least got a point, or 3 points over the weekend, courtesy of Callum Wilson's
And a clean sheet as well.
penalty and a clean sheet. Now the question is, what do you think will happen?
I think AC Milan are also, if we're looking at it with the opponent as well, AC Milan have not been on a good form. But if we base on Newcastle, they've been doing well in the league, aside from
Doing
the
well?
defeats. Yeah, they've done well.
Newcastle or AC Milan?
Newcastle.
Newcastle lost 3 consecutive matches before they won.
They won the
Against
last game.
Brentford.
They won the last game. And I
Yes.
think their previous games
They
were
lost
hard.
to-
2-1 to Liverpool.
They lost to Liverpool, they lost to City, and they also lost to which team? They lost 3 consecutive matches before the weekend match. So their form has really been bad. So I don't understand. Their form has been really Manchester United. I mean, sorry, bad. So playing away, they're away.
Yeah, I think their experience as well for in the Champions League in the last few years is not there, and you will see it. I think AC Milan are one of the European elites, and although in their league also they are not like very much stable right now. They were defeated by Inter Milan, I think, during the weekend.
It's a derby, and
Yeah.
Milan are always ahead of Inter, always ahead of them.
Of AC Milan.
Yes.
But remember, they are the semi-finalists last year. They reached the semi-finals, and they were eliminated by Inter Milan.
Inter Milan.
So they're still European royalty, you know. And teams that have won the Champions League know how much the Champions League is valuable, and they give in a good shift. So I think they're gonna do well against Newcastle. And without looking at a lot of dynamics and stuff, I'm just going to go for a 2-1 win for AC Milan. How about you?
Slight victory. I think AC Milan still not the team for me this season. Of course, their start has been shaky, and by the look, Newcastle United I expect when you go to San Siro, lots of noise. It's more of the Anfield Stadium. When you go there, you are inexperienced, and all of a sudden a lot of noise all over the stadium. Obviously, you'll be confused. I don't know why, but I think for some reasons Newcastle United might not even feature in the Europa League. They'll basically be knocked out. Knocked out.
Yeah, because
So,
they're in the group of death.
Yes, I'll go for a 1-0
1-0
for AC Milan.
Do you think AC Milan have the right kind of defense to stop Newcastle from scoring?
You know how Italian football is. Italian football is full of there is intensity and their defense. Those people defend well. They do. When you look at Roma, look at Inter Milan, they don't concede a lot of goals. So with that, we saw how Newcastle United they played almost like 40 minutes in their recent match without any shot on target.
Yeah.
So when you go away and try to repeat the same thing, then obviously you're gonna lose.
Yep.
Yeah. Now we take a look at the Gunners.
Mm-hmm.
The Gunners are finally in the Champions League and will be up against PSV. It is a team last season they met in the Europa
Yep.
League. Actually, their group who was saying looks like a Europa League group because they are with Sevilla.
People are not just saying, it's the truth, man.
It is the truth.
Yeah, if Arsenal and PSV...
But better than being in the same group with Bayern.
If Arsenal and PSV
And-
are the best team in that group, then it tells you, like...
Do you know...
That is Europa League pedigree, you know?
Do you know who is PSV?
Everyone is wondering how Arsenal and PSV got themselves where they are, but well, they are here now, and
Are you jealous?
I'm not jealous because I'm in here. I'm in here.
Even if you take
I'm
United
in here.
there,
I'm in here.
if you take United to that group, it will be group of death for them.
No,
not the entire
no.
group.
It's group of death for you guys if you don't know, because PSV, I think they gave you guys a real food for thought last season.
Last season it was really. I remember it was chaos.
Now you're
And I
accepting
think
facts.
now coming, I always state facts. Coming at Emirates, then it's not that easy, and you can ask other teams. I think the teams which can pick points at current, like at Emirates, maybe Manchester City, maybe Manchester City.
Fulham.
Yes, Fulham they drew, of course, but taking maximum points
And,
is there you draw the line.
yeah,
United were there, they
And
got
they
three.
got robbed.
They got three.
They got robbed.
They were also robbed, so you balance.
So yeah, I think let's speak now about that game and
Yes, so last time when we were discussing about Premier League, of course, we said we're gonna expect Aaron Ramsdale to keep a clean sheet, but unfortunately, Mikel Arteta made changes and Raya started with also Kai Havertz, who now they're calling 005, started from the bench.
Kai Havertz.
What do you think now? Because now is the PSV is not team which you're supposed to underrate. It's a good team, and then again, we have depth. There is depth. In the midfield, there is Declan Rice. There is Odegaard is also playing there, right? On top of that, we still have Smith Rowe. We have Kai Havertz, right? We have Jorginho. We have Fabio Vieira. If you are Arteta with that kind of squad, and you have two top goalkeepers actually, Raya and Ramsdale, you have two good strikers in the name of Gabriel Jesus and Nketiah. On the left wing, of course, Martinelli got injured, celebrating a goal, and they picked up injury, a goal which was chucked off because of.
Thank you for adding that. Thank you for adding that.
So, what do you like? If you are Mikel Arteta, how will you make these changes? How will you set your team?
I think every Arsenal fan out there, they want Arsenal to do well in the UEFA Champions League. They have not been here for quite some time, and they want to see their team performing very well in this competition. So Arteta has to make the best decisions in the squad. He has to pick the best available players. Unfortunately for Martinelli, he's out, as you said.
Yes, it looked like more of a hamstring, which takes basically 3 weeks.
3 or 4 weeks.
You give it for 1 week for recovery, then another week for full training.
But I think Trossard is a good player who comes on and does wonders for Arsenal. He scored against Everton a good goal, a quick taken goal, something we don't see with most natural strikers.
Imagine he scored second goal of the season.
This season. I know what you want to say. You want to talk about Mudryk, who has played around 21 games
since last year.
Yeah, so he's done well, and I think he will be the one who's going to be playing for instead of Martinelli now that he's out. And I think Arsenal are in good position. They have a style of play. I always rate them since last season because they understand what they're doing. Whether they are losing, whether they concede 4-10 goals, Arsenal will still play the Arsenal way. Let's call it the Arsenal way. And Arteta has done a lot more on this squad. It's now a Champions League pedigree team. I'll agree with that.
I didn't hear that.
Right, so PSG, I don't think they have a chance against PSV.
Yeah.
PSV. I don't think they have a chance against Arsenal at Emirates. Although it's gonna be like the nervousness of coming back to the Champions League for Arsenal.
No nervousness.
So it's gonna be there. It has to be there because the fans will be pushing. They want you to be scoring goals as quickly as possible so that you move forward. But I think this game can end in a 3-1 win and
For the Gunners.
yeah, and Gabriel Jesus might be on the score sheet of this one. How about you?
Good game. Team like PSV is not team you're supposed to underrate. But then again, at Emirates, like I said, when you come to the carpet, we need to talk. We need to have a talk. And of course, I expect Arsenal to run away. They could keep a clean sheet, so I'll give them at least 2-0 victory. The last match, we're just trying to get another extra match, and that we'll see PSG
Taking on Borussia Dortmund.
Yes.
Wow. When you mentioned Borussia Dortmund,
I remember Sancho.
I remember Sancho, and also
Jude.
last season. Not even Jude, just last season, they almost
One.
won the league, and they bottled it. They had the league in their hands.
They just needed to win.
Just needed to win, and
No matter the results.
And we can't call that unlucky. That's bottling. That cannot be unlucky.
Like okay, you see, if I was their opponent, I think I'll allow them to
Score, man.
to score.
That's what I was thinking in that game.
I've won. Then again, there is the worry of match fixing.
Yep.
Which can land you in trouble.
But you remember?
I was covering some news. I think around 2019, when a coach was suspended. By then he was a player. It was La Liga, and they fixed match in 2011, and it came after 9 years.
But you remember the last time we also had that kind of drama on the last day of the Premier League in 2012. People thought QPR might have
Something
even
like
the
that,
league to
but I
Manchester
think,
City.
they felt
So-
they conceded the second goal, which was the equalizer, and from the kickoff,
Yeah.
they just kicked the ball.
Right, so
And the rest
I think
was-
sometimes it's football, it happens, but they really bottled, and that's why I had to pause a moment from the Champions League to that moment. And for that reason, they have a squad though. They have also a playing style that we know. They kind of pass as we move, that kind of football. It's still instilled in the system. So they also have quality players, but this season they haven't just signed enough players. But I know one striker who has been doing well, Milan. They also have Marco Rose, who's a very experienced player in the Champions League.
I think he should leave that team.
Where will he go?
Enough.
He's injury prone. He's old right now. There's chances.
Saudi Arabia is calling.
Yeah, but he loves that team that much because so many players we can count have been there. They left him there, and he said he's not ready to leave. So they still can contest with PSG. It will be a good encounter. It's also one of the matches that we're gonna be like glued to, so that we just see how it happens. But then again, also PSG, they lost 2 key players in the
they
last
have
transfer
lots of
window.
injuries, yes.
Yeah, and they have injuries again. Messi left, Neymar left. Now they have Dembele and Gonzalo Ramos, which is a good attack, provided Mbappe has always been there and has done well. In the last game, I think he scored 2 goals, 2 screamers, 2 fantastic goals, although they lost. And PSG are a good side, and it's going to be an encounter kind of match. I don't know, before maybe I give the prediction, do you have any team news maybe who's
Yes,
out?
we have a number of players who are missing for PSG. Marco Asensio, Mukiele is also out.
Wow.
Yes, Nuno Mendes and Presley Kimpembe. It reminds me of our friend
Presley.
Yes, Presley.
Yeah.
Sergio Rico is also out, but for Borussia Dortmund, not a lot of players, but Thomas Muina is also out, with I think Reina and More. So I think those are the key players who are missing. I expect Borussia Dortmund to have a good attack. They have Sebastian, the guy who beat cancer. They also have Malen, like you mentioned, and Matt Hummels at the back. We have players on loan for Man United. Sabitzer is also there, so I think
We also have Sule
yes,
in the defense.
Yes,
And there's this one player we are forgetting, Adeyemi.
yeah.
Adeyemi is also exciting.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good spot to be with when you're traveling to Paris.
Yeah.
And now, maybe if I just give an prediction for this, I think PSG will win 2-1 against Borussia Dortmund.
I expect both teams, of course, not to keep a clean sheet. They have exciting attack, and the back line is not promising. So I think I'll go for goals gallo. Gamblers try play with over 2.5.
The 2.5 goals.
3-2. I'll give it 3-2. It will be like we could see PSG conceding, equalizing, Dortmund scoring,
drilling, and then making that come back.
We'll have a very last minute goal, and maybe it's that will be. I'll give it for PSG to nick.
The guy who does this
We
score
go in the stoppage time.
So
Right,
I think those are the only matches.
Those are the big matches which you have, and of course we have more matches.
Yep.
For another round. Still, I think it should be match day 1 because we are still at the group stages, and we expect Tuesday and Wednesday. Of course, Chelsea will not be playing.
Why are you mentioning Chelsea? Of course, Liverpool will be featuring in the Europa League. At least mention Liverpool. Chelsea is...
No,
you can't mention Chelsea when we are speaking about UEFA, bro.
Maybe I talk about Brighton.
Yeah, they're also in Europa League. Yeah, so that's it. Remember, again, this video is sponsored by BetPower, one of the biggest companies in Kenya as well. And remember to interact with us. Let us know what you think about this match day for the Champions League. Tell us your correct scores that you think, especially for Man United versus Bayern, or is it vice versa?
Doesn't matter.
It's Bayern versus Man United. Let us know in the comment section what you think about this match. And that is it. We've come to the end of this episode. My name is Brian.
And they call me Vincent.
And this is
the Liquid Sports Show.